Good morning. Just now getting off of work not too long ago. Came here to this park. Still not walking, but that's okay. I'm walking a lot better. I don't want to try too soon and then re-injure myself, so I'm still just being consistent with coming out. I have been recording, but everything is on YouTube right now because I'm having a hard time trying to figure out all the platforms and all of that. But if I just make one long video and post it to YouTube, it works out better for me. As time go along, I'm gonna figure out how to work these other platforms and get it out there to everybody. But if you're interested, check out Qualified by God, my channel on YouTube, which will be posted underneath this video, because that's where everything is. I think I'm up to 9 or 10 videos, and they're all like 20 minutes long. Like, it's, and from what I'm understanding, I think a couple of people told me like it's only, they're not getting, why they not getting the whole story, or why the clips aren't, I don't know. But listen, all I'm doing is being obedient. I'm recording it. Where it's being posted at, I can figure out later. Long as it's recorded, I can get someone else to edit it. I know great editors, and I believe a workman is worthy of his hire. At least the Bible tells me that. So I will, if I need to, because honestly, I can't say that I want to learn all these social media platforms. It's not something that I plan on doing. I'm planning on doing this assignment, and I believe God's going to give me something else to do after I complete this assignment. So I'm probably going to give somebody else a holler and let them do these editing things and get the clips together. So this next chapter of my life, I'm 16 years old, just got saved, and I began going to church with my sister. And as luck would have it, I land in one of the best churches with some of the best people at the best time, because of where I am and what I've gone through. I land at New Jerusalem Church of God in Christ in Twin Oaks, PA. Well, Elder Lawrence P. West was my pastor. And when I say that pastor loved God, like I had an example of a pastor that loved God and loved his wife, and he loved God and he loved his wife. And he was the shepherd. So that was the example. And then I ended up joining the choir, and I had another awesome example of a man of God, Ernie Saunders. Like, he was amazing to be around, to get to know, to have speak into your life at times, because he would speak into your life. If you're under him, he would speak into your life. He's had a couple hard conversations with me that I never told anybody about, concerning what I was doing and how I was living. Because although I was saved, and this is what I want to let everyone know, when you get saved, you don't change instantly. You don't stop doing everything that you used to do. God gives you grace. But after a while, change has to happen. It's required. It's not immediate. And my bishop just was preaching this on Sunday. So we can come how we are. Thank you, Bishop, for that. Yes, because you just said that, not God can take you how you are. Yes, he does. But eventually, just like with anything else, if you're building relationship, you got to be held accountable with some things, and be called on the carpet about some things. And when people are over you and watching your life, that really care about you and that are serious about the things of God, they're not going to be beside you and allow you to go to hell from the pew. I don't know how I got to hell from the pew that fast, because that's not where I thought I was going with this. But it came out, and I prayed before I began this whole situation. So apparently I was supposed to be saying stuff like that, because I'm not the person to be talking about hell from the pew. The one thing about me, if anybody knows me, around that time, I did have tunnel vision, even in church. Like, I wasn't the one in church laughing and joking and kikiing and all of that. When the word was going forth, I had tunnel vision. I was looking towards the word. When praise and worship was happening, I was praising and worshiping. Never will a rock cry out. Even back then, I don't care how I'm living, God gonna get his praise, okay? And that's the one thing I always understood. God is worthy of the praise, no matter what I'm doing, no matter what I did last night, no matter what I did that morning before I went to church. God was worthy of the praise, and he got it. He got his praise from me. And I believe that's why he has been faithful to me, because no matter what state I was in my life, I didn't always get it wrong. At the age of 16, just getting saved, I still had a lot of flesh in me, and I still had the mentality of using what I got to get what I want. Even after being saved, it took God a little bit of time to work in me to change some things about me, because I still had a little of that on me. You know what I mean? Like I can remember they used to have something called like Joy Nights, and I don't know if they're still doing this kind of stuff, but the young people in church back then in the 90s, 92, 90, 91, 92, 93, like Joy Nights, and we used to get together and have church. Now, I'm not saying it was all on the up and up, but there was an outlet for us, rather. You know what I mean? There was a way for us to get together and have church. And me just going to the church or whatever, I decide to give my daughter's father a holy hug. When I met him, like, all worldly, listen, just getting into church, I'm just going like give him a hug. And I think my hug was a little bit too long, because somebody had mentioned something to me about it later, but okay. But those things still are on you. And people gave me grace for the most part. Like, I didn't, like, even when I dressed, when I would go to church. Now listen, this is somebody who didn't go to church at all. So back then, and I was in Church of God in Christ. It wasn't it was a holiness church. But like, I didn't know how to slips, undergarments, all of that kind of stuff. I believe, although I wasn't, I think I still dressed a little, it was still a little provocativeness to my aesthetic. My daughter's father, one thing she taught me how to do is to be, she got me together aesthetically. Like, I learned a lot about being a woman outwardly through her. Definitely, I can honestly say, like, she would talk to me about, how a woman should carry herself, and how, a woman should look, and, just different things. She really helped me in that area, because I was not raised by a woman. I was raised by a man. I thought like a man. And until recently, and at times now, I have to catch myself. I'm still catching myself from thinking like a man, honestly. But until recently, I was a female. I am a female. I am a woman. But internally, I I I think like a man. And as I continue on with these chapters of my life, you'll see that if you take the scenarios and take the fact that I'm a woman out of them, a lot of my actions is the way men move. A lot of I moved a lot of the ways like men move. And it's because my father raised me. He did the best he knew how to do. And I came out the way I came out. So I'm talking about joy nights. I'm talking about being in church, moving around, meeting my daughter's father, and still not necessarily living according to the word. It was really just an outlet. I can honestly say at that point in my life, it was a way for me to get out the house. Because remember, I had to be in the house before dark. My dad would allow me to go to church with my daughter's father and his family. So I was able to get out of the house. And although I got to experience a whole lot of things, before then I had never ever gone like out to eat really. We would eat in the house. We cooked dinner every night in the house, and our out to eat was like pizza being delivered, or maybe going to like fast food, like driving in something like that. But like sit out and eat, we never did that. We did everything in house. So I got a chance to experience a whole lot of things. And although God was working in me, I wasn't where I needed to be spiritually just yet. And I ended up getting pregnant again. And at this point in time, I'm a member of the choir. Courtney's father is a musician. So we're sat down, which we should have been set. We should have had several seats. We should have had several seats. And although I was sat down for the most part, I can honestly say in that congregation, it was so much love in that church. I did not feel ridiculed. I did not feel, I knew it was wrong. I know they weren't promoting it. They weren't, celebrating the fact that I just got pregnant. But at the same time, they were not beating me down. It was a sense of, this isn't God's standard for your life, but we love you. We love you anyhow, and we're going to love you through it. This is what I got from my church family. And even when I was graduating, I still was honored at the graduation service, and I was big pregnant with slippers on. They still acknowledged the accomplishment. High school graduation isn't going to happen again for me. So to punish me or to take away that moment in my life because I had done something prior to that I've already been chastised for. I don't think I got beat, but man, I was on punishment. I got sat down, got talked to and sat down as far as what I was doing in ministry at the time. And it was ministry. I didn't know. I mean, I'm thinking I'm just singing in the choir. It's ministry. It's a whole lot of spiritual dynamics to that now that I know. So I should have sat down and had several seats because, that was all. I was all out of order. And I was dealt with accordingly. But we ended up, I had that was the best time of my life. At that point in time, to me, that was the best time of my life. Because one, my daughter's father wanted her. He begged to have a child. I was not trying to have a child right then and there. But because I'm somebody who feel like I don't want to lose him, I go ahead and decide that I'm going to have a child now. Why we couldn't wait, I don't know. So she was no accident. She was accidentally on purpose conceived. I mean, we did everything that you had to do to try to have a child. We wanted to make sure that it happened. And that time of my life, though, I had the best time ever. The best pregnancy ever. I was outside of the will of God, but being blessed at the same time. And it made me appreciate God so much more. That even though I messed up, God, you still love me. You love me enough to show me love. You still love me. And 4 months later, well, 6 months actually, March. Yeah, when my daughter was 6 months old, we ended up getting married. But I had the best pregnancy ever. That was the best time of my marriage. I wasn't even married yet. We did get engaged while I was pregnant, though. I wasn't even married, but that was the best time of our relationship, rather. That's what I should say. It was the best time of our relationship. And having my daughter, although I did not want to have a child at that time, it saved me from myself. Because having to love someone and be responsible for someone made me work on me, made me sacrifice myself so that I could be more for her. But experiencing the love from somebody also helped me and saved me. So it was not the time that I wanted it to take place. And no, I should not have been planning nobody's pregnancy without. I was in high school. I was at the end of my high school senior year. Like, the things we do when we are not living according to the will of God for our lives. But God still worked it out for my good. God will work it out for your good. No matter what it is, He still worked it out for my good. My daughter is amazing. Amazing. And I, with the help of God, with God, raised a beautiful young lady. She is amazing. I really can't believe that I did, God did His big one with helping me raise her, because the person she is an amazing person. It really is. I'm proud of the daughter that I have and what I did with God helping me raise her, and me knowing enough to know that I needed God to help me do what I needed to do in her. That is really amazing to me, that the way God works things out. I never would have thought it would have turned out the way that it turned out. I really wouldn't have. But it turned out for my good. He worked it all out for my good. So I'm getting ready to go in the house now, because actually my knee, I didn't take my brace last night. So I'm getting ready to go in the house. Getting tired, starting to wind down from this night shift. I just wanted to get on here and communicate with everyone today. And as always, please, 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 please remember, your past does not disqualify you. We are qualified by God.